Good morning, family, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there who are handling their business. And to all those fathers who should be handling their business, maybe this occasion might give you an occasion to do such. This is Reggie Smith coming at you. I'm making a quick report to you before I go out and attend this U.S. Open later on today. Hopefully Tiger Woods can step his game up and get back in the running. And hopefully it won't rain on us too much while we're out there. Anyway, I wanted to give you an update from a meeting that I was invited to and attended last Friday, June 19th, that our state senator Hiram Monserrat convened at his local office. I want to give you some of the concerns that were raised by the 10 to 12 community leaders that were in attendance. They basically gave the feedback that I've been hearing from many of you at the different community meetings that I've attended. And some of those concerns were the appearance that what he did in joining with the Republicans and Pedro Espada of the Bronx and forming a coalition with them seemed to have no rhyme or reason, especially after just that preceding Saturday. It was Family Day, where Senator Monserrat spent most of the day socializing and rubbing elbows with members of the community. And the way it was portrayed in the media, it seemed to break down along racial lines. The Senate Majority Leader Malcolm Smith leadership was being challenged at a time after Democrats in the state Senate had struggled for a long time. Joseph Bruno, I believe, was the one who held Senator Smith's position for a very, very long time. I guess I'd have to research that matter. If anybody out there in the family knows that, share that information with the rest of us. You know, so for him to side with the Republicans against Smith, who was newly ascended to that position, and the fact that Monserrat was also linked with the quote-unquote ethically challenged Pedro Espada from the Bronx, another Hispanic. So the racial angle seemed to be very prominent. Also, in an environment where we're in the greatest economic depression since the Great Depression of the 30s, many organizations whose budgets had already been slashed, their meager funding was being held up by the squabble in the state Senate because none of the Senate's business was being taken care of. On top of that, there were the concerns raised that what kind of influence did billionaire Tom Golisano have in this whole process? And was there any undue influence from his political action committee, Responsible New York, and State Senator Monserrat's legal issues? Was there some quid pro quo? Anyway, this is an overview of the answers that were given by Senator Monserrat. He stated to us that bills on issues that were important to our community, namely vacancy decontrol, which dealt with rent stabilized apartment issues and the undue influence of real estate developers, he named specifically Pinnacle and Vantage, whose political contributions often influence how they vote on these matters. So that, that issue, along with another issue, he said the Sean Bell Civil Rights Act, which would require police officers to be drug tested within a 24-hour time period after a shooting incident. He said that these issues were not even seeing the light of day on the Senate floor because they could not leave their committees. And, so he said a big part of the problem was just the system in Albany and the behind the scenes influence of political bosses in the whole process. And he said that the process needed to be shaken up. In addition, he mentioned the issue of control of the New York City Board of Education. He mentioned the fact that Malcolm Smith was, quote unquote, in the pocket of Mayor Bloomberg, and that he had given his support to Bloomberg's continued control over the Board of Education without consulting the fellow Democrats at the state Senate level, many of whom have issues with the mayoral control over the public school system. So he said that his ultimate goal was to change the leadership and also to change some of the rules in how business was being conducted up in Albany. He stated that the leadership of Malcolm Smith, had to be called into question in the mere fact that how could this coup take place if he had a strong handle on his position in Brooklyn. And he also mentioned the fact that the new leadership under the guise of Senator John Sampson from Brooklyn, he was voted in unanimously. So it shows that someone was able to get the support across the board. And he says that there were other Democrats who felt similar to him but did not make the move that he did. With reference to Mr. Golisano, he stated that Mr. Golisano contributed over $5 million to Democratic Party campaigns, expecting a quote-unquote quid pro quo from Mr. Smith in representing the concerns of his political action committee, Responsible New York. He stated a publicized incident of Golisano feeling disrespected by Senator Smith, who during a meeting with Mr. Golisano was accused of fiddling with his BlackBerry during that meeting. Montserrat also stated that Reverend Al Sharpton has said nothing negative about Montserrat because Reverend Sharpton and Montserrat have a history in the past of struggle, and he may not understand what he has done in this specific instance, but he knows that Montserrat is often on the same side of the battles that he is involved with. Senator Montserrat also stated that he had a meeting with Senator Smith that same day. That he's continuing to have meetings with Governor Patterson, Al Sharpton, and also fielding calls from the White House in their concerns of the happenings with the things that are going on in our state Senate. What else? He says that he stands firmly behind his track record, and and that he has consistently supported the issues that impact on our community, and he will continue to do so. He said that basically it was the media's attempt to portray this along racial lines to boost their rating, sell more newspapers. He said it was a one-time strategic vote to align himself with Republicans to accomplish the goal of changing the leadership and the rules. He also mentioned how some local Democratic officials tried to fan the flames of division between blacks and Hispanics, and that they need not go there. He also stated that he planned in the very near future to hold a public meeting at a venue large enough to house those who are concerned in the community for their attempt to come out and have their concerns addressed. Anyway, this is Reggie Smith coming at you live, reporting to you, trying to give you the latest of what's going on in the community for the sake of enlightening and empowering us. Anyway, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Bye.